I'm super excited to play this. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and begin. Ace Attorney. I was super excited for this. I've played every Ace Attorney game. And this one has been out for like a few years now, and we just now got it in the West. So I'm super excited to play it. I'm not gonna go too long tonight. I'm already tired. Cooking that pork belly. Uh-oh, Binding of Isaac. Oh, here we go.
The Empire of Japan, after opening its doors, a push
I am very happy.
Brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation.
Spirit of Justice was really good.
Washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
I mean, it is now. There's an anime for it. Uh-oh.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Phoenix Wright's great ancestor. Bienvenue à la Carnaval. 22nd November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of I can't pronounce it. Judicature, Defendants, Antechamber 5. Still can't believe it. Can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber? Playing Isaac really try hard right now because it's making my deep existential dread. I'm gonna have to play Isaac. You talk about it a lot. I'm gonna have to try it out. The highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate. This has pretty much the same concept as Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton. Too hard, I'm in pain. What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. I'm a little upset they don't have audio for this. I don't have to read it. I have an 80 win streak. Negative 80 win streak with one character, or just an 80 win streak with one character? I don't know how that game works. I thought you only played as Isaac. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Negative. That's not good. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. What is this? Oh, it's my friend, my partner. Just 34 characters? That's a lot. He's not obligated to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? Can't do voices, I'm bad. I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer. Yes, and until the judge has given the verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. He's gotta pull out a sword, so you'll hold your tongue. Technicalities, look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. I got no voice difference. And yet, still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Where's the Phoenix Man? I am the Phoenix Man. That's my lawyer right now. But I'm gonna become a lawyer later, I do believe. Right, Ryunosuke? Yes, of course. Sorry. You are Phoenix? Yep, pretty much. I'm his ancestor. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, I suppose that wasn't my fault. I don't know what voices to give him, so I'm just trying. I'm just reading it. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. I can see him being kind of like All Might now. Though I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by a student? But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. I love All Might. All Might is the best. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. I think you killed him. Oh, jeez. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in the second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. Our student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Do I have my, like... look at my stuff? Here in Japan, anyway. Let's see. Record... Reader. Turn this enable story mode in place of autoplay, allowing you to progress through the game automatically. Yeah. I don't have a court record yet. Don't see it. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. I did exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. I'm still a little congested, so I can't really change my voice as that. Congratulations, Kazuma. Kazuya. Looks like you're gonna get to study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. To be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you. I'm proud as your friend. Kazuya, he never leaves. He's a demon in disguise. I would not doubt it if the last trial in this game is like defending him and he's actually the murderer. It's always the perfect ones that are the murderers. Not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about the change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire? I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's city of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear. Oh wait, who's talking? Okay, Kazuma. Kazuya, jeez. Kill the British. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English tomorrow, then. Partner. Oh, he called me partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. I'm guessing this is going to be female. Asogi, may I have a word? Oh, which one? Maybe her? Him? Oh, it's him. That was way off. Asogi, may I have a word? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now, Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chamber. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? Feels that I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes. Thanks, Kazuya. Kazuya? I keep saying Kazuya. It's his dad. Is it? Thanks, Kazuya. Yes. Now the mother arrives. I don't think that's the mother either. I think that's like one of their I don't know. I've never played this game. I haven't played it either. But I've seen the trailer for it, so I think that's just another one of their students, or fellow students. And they said he was a professor, so he's a teacher. This is awkward. If I may. Yeah, sorry? You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhito, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Yujin Makotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Professor Makotoba. I heard the name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuya. I'm just gonna call him Kazuya. What a funny name. Kazuya, studying abroad. Asogi, or Mikotoba, or might be Mikotoba. I'm gonna call it Mikotoba. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. Please. What? As I expected, you were unaware of this. I bet he's the criminal. I bet he did it. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. Agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? I hope he fails because Britain sucks. Awesome. I'm sure. I don't think he's gonna fail. He's gonna go to Britain. He's gonna do it. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Murder? Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. Are we getting married? I do? Well, what would the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. That's hard words. So allow me to summarize. Kazuya Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Oh, okay. So yes, the game is getting interesting now. The trial is here. And so he wants me to say I committed the murder so that my friend doesn't have to defend me and he can just go to Britain. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. I bet he's the murderer. I'm calling it. He's the murderer. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. Howard's way out. Yeah. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuya's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on an unforgettable trial. I want our only chance of proving my innocence, the trial that would decide my destiny. We got this. Can't wait to get into this, do this trial. 22nd of November, 9 a.m., Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. I love his headband is constantly waving. So, this is a courtroom? That's so militaristic. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. The military and other uniforms in there. The powers that have been demanded that this be a secret trial. Secret trial? A trial that's close to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now... You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. It's always the same prosecutor. Well, not the same, but a very similar looking one. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. The man's beard, because he's a judge. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I'm obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who advocates? That would be me, right? Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. Oh! I'm going to defend myself! Then if I say, I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Let's do it! Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. Look at my face, I'm so nervous. As I'm standing here... Yes! Got interrupted. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. Said the funny sound. Yes. You'll be... What? What? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Makotoba told me everything, just now, before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? No, it's not that, really. It's just that... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear it to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Makotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel. Really? Objection! He said it! Objection! Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. I hate this old guy. They normally do. There's some type of pain. They normally have pain in the name. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Huh? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. Ugh. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Huh. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, his name is Achi, probably Achi Pain, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, very high standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Norihado? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So let's start with the very simplest of questions. Yes! Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I heard his name more times than I've cared to remember. But, wait. Do we even have a court record yet? I'm so nervous, I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess, your mind's gone blank? You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. Yes. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of R. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press R for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. Alright, so we got a couple things. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now, how you doing, Valcone? How you doing this evening? This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with R. Oh no, it's got people in it. Which means sometimes when you present stuff, you can present a person. This guy know what a button is. Is he in the video game? Yes, he's breaking the fourth wall. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press X to present. Try it now. Alright, so we got Kasuma Sogi, age 23, a second year at the Imperial Yumi University. He's my best friend and despite being a student, a qualified defense lawyer as well. Yujin Makotoba, who I think is the murderer, a medical school professor at the Imperial Yumi University. He's an authority in the forensic medicine and Kazuma's mentor. Oh no, he doesn't have pain. It's Taketsuchi Achi, the lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have a little love for the changes to the cultural reformation has brought about. And John H. Wilson, victim of this case. He was the visiting professor of the medicine at Yumi University for the British Empire.
Yes!
Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yumi University 3 years ago. I'm doing fine. Get sick of a new variant. Remember him all day playing Smash. Kinda sad, but it's what it is. I hope you get better. I really hope you do. I just got out of being sick not too long ago. Hey, I'll be streaming. Come chill or play Smash sometime. I was playing a little bit of Kazuya earlier today. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. Right, I'm finally rage quitting Isaac, but it's more of a disappointed quit. Aw. Sometimes you just gotta take a break and then get back to it another day. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of the Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yumi University, are you not? Next one will be this Saturday. I'll try to go a little longer this Saturday. So I'm not doing Smash tomorrow, but it'll be the day after. I might do Smash tomorrow, but I'm probably going to be playing this. Murdering a professor from the very institute that provides you education. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from all allies on the other side of the world. Not Saturday? No, that's among... Oh, that's right. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably smash tomorrow then. And then on Saturday we're playing Among Us. I totally forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, did forget. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. So since it's Friday, I can probably do this and smash. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities? Is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties don't make any difference for me here. Fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. Alright, Balcon. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. I'm his partner. British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. Oh, there's the victim. See the man at the university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. I went over to the professor's table. Victim? I thought he died. Yeah, he's the victim. He died. He's the victim in this case. I'm the accused. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson, who's dead. The old man's dead. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhito. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? Going to the court record. There should be post-mortem report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by the loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Okay. Proof that I'm a student at the Imperial Yuma University. I always wear it on the collar of my uniform jacket. Lost his life due to death. Very much so. I imagine he did. State before the court the cause of death. Cause of death? Well, obviously that was... Ryunosuke. Remember that in the court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now.
Yes!
Well... According to this document, I like that it actually pulls the documents out. The victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report. I take it? Sorry, yes, that's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, the doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in the autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested in any of this later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Okay, so we get new evidence. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. Means it was close up. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Photographic print that shows the victim was shot from the front in the chest and subsequently died. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. Clearly superior to a drawing, the detail is incredible. Very well, I am satisfied with your answers. Wait, he was killed? That's spooky. He was killed. He was shot. Close up, at close range. Let us start the trial. Here we go. Certainly, Your Excellency. So without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. Ugh. This is it, then. Huh. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Makotoba? Who was killed today by Isaac? Oh. Well, get revenge tomorrow. Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. But I'll have a negative 200 win streak and keep trying. There you go. Just like in Smash, lose 1,000 battles to win your first one. Of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Sogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. So he'd be fine as my assistant. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuya. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweat. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. I love that headband. Always flowing. Look at this guy. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Sotoro Hasanaga. I'm the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called Le Carnaval. I think it's funny how you gave up on saying Kazuma because you're playing too much Smash Bros. Too much Kazuya. Yep. Always bleeding from the mouth. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, Oh, no blood on the towel. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels and accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago. Understood. Osanaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, firing, maybe, but firing? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We had few diners at the time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. It's in my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, and so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. Why did this boy show up to a courtroom in his uniform for work? It's a school uniform. Or this guy, he showed up for... I didn't think him as a boy. I don't know. Guess he's going to work afterwards. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on. Let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I can't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruto. Don't worry, Rinosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today? Oh, it might be this guy then. He's definitely accusing me. Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. What did he just say? No one else around that table. What's the matter, Inosuke? That's not right. Well, I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello. Oh, the lady. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what did I do? I'm gonna have to wait. Gotta finish his, we can, fight back in a moment. We gotta let him finish saying what he wants to say. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Inosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I've never have to go into Yuma University otherwise. But you can't just always follow rules in life. Oh. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you've scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. There is something I want to say. I'm just gonna shut my eyes and say it. Okay, so they're gonna force me to say it. Interject! Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, dismissed student, is not a real lawyer after all? Oh, we're not. Is this part of the cross-examination now? Is the very first time you would go through it? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hasan-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of the events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. Hold up. Dude, we see his plate, but I don't think we see her plate. Shoot the old guy instead of the Englishman and willingly go to jail for it. Don't have much information. 29 years old, the head waiter at a European-style restaurant, La Carnival. He was serving there on the day of the incident. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant, as it was that day. Please, have a look if you'd like to. Let me see here. Sketch of the establishment layout, drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Well, of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. They're gonna send you to jail? It certainly seems to have shaken him. Gotta be that picture. Not in there yet. It's making me want to cough. Waiter's business card. Oh, if we check the back of the business card, maybe. His restaurant's layout is on the back. He makes me want to cough so bad. So, the court has now heard a precis of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at the black and white case here. Gonna die in like 10 seconds at this rate. He's gonna croak right on the stand. Defendant Naruto. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you're determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuya? What do you mean? Well, I'm guilty. One way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Someone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. Little punishment. Yeah, this old man is gonna inevitably I think he's gonna croak. Oh no, you're talking about that old man. I'm pretty sure he's gonna croak too. Said it, Professor Makotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I don't know what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? That it? What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then the defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Or are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Nosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Achi, please continue the proceedings. Well, you were warned. Young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil whenever when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced. Forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Hold up, I want to take a look at that card. Magnifying glass doesn't really do much for us. That's such a butthole. This is how he's always gonna be. Wait till you actually meet the real prosecutor. He looks like a vampire. Oh, look at these guys. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant. Yes, sir. No, sir. Reporting for duty, sir. Myself, a fine employee. Buyer of fine articles. Antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon. The real one? And conduct my trade from Rasute on humble premises in the 2nd District, Ryokurai service. Yes, Hensberg is first is reporting for duty. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. It must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding the curious with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at Le Carnaval. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets Le Carnaval because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, Sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Oh yes, big words make me sound smart. Now you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. Man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening? The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw, the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Stand to be ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Okay, here we go. Get a testimony. I was ingesting a regular beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio, the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. Tell this old man to stop admiring his glass for 1 second, please. Stop it, old man. Take a look at these guys in the court record. An army sergeant in the Empire of Japan who witnessed the incident, 38 years old. Well, he's near retirement, or should be. Koryo Kurikuta, 67 years old, the owner of Rasute, an antique shop situated on a street corner in the 2nd District. He is a witness to the incident. Okay, so vital details. The black uniform varsity cadet fired at the English civilian, and from the back the cowardly little weasel. Oh. Right there was already a contradiction. The picture has me shooting him at the front. That's 6'3", 3000. The picture already has me shooting him from the front. He just claimed that I shot him in the back. So we can go ahead and yes, idiot. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously ascended precious curio. Well, so you Sergeant Noza actually witnessed the vital moment? You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim? Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. What times? We just pulled out a knife. What times we live in. English gentlemen may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes. I'd like to just pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. Did he not actually hear the gunshot? I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up... Oh. He's not dead. I happened at the same time picked up the gun. So the gun I had must have not been fired. Well, if that's the truth, then there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now! As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. It was Heisenberg. He might have done it. He probably does have a gun on him. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring the despicable student to justice. Certainly. Testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this...
Yes!
Just raised his hand. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean the defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Actually, more like... Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Huh? How did he know? The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kazuya is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. Thank you, headband boy. He sounds powerful. He does. We already know what we need to ask, or what we need to prove. He already said we shot him in the back, which that's wrong. How? He didn't fire the gun, which means that the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence. Right. Evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all or nothing. Cross-examination. Oh, he looks like Phoenix with just from the eyes cutting off the hair. You're playing this manga Saturday? Who are you playing with? I don't quite know yet. I was gonna see if I can make a private room and just invite whoever's on Twitch. And then I was just gonna have Axe Rain and another one of my friends probably join in. That was interesting. Okay, we already read these parts, so we can press them, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip basic information. A precise moment of firearm is discharged. It's actually with my own eyes. Violent illusions. And from the back, the cowardly weasel. There we go. We can press that at least before we present evidence. So this black uniformed university cadet. You're saying that was... Dark. I've had just about enough of your sauce, cadet. Will this be through Discord? I mean, I could do it on Discord. I didn't even think about it. But yeah, I could do it through Discord. Who else do you see around here in black uniform, Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well. But... It was you, you little weasel. You unloaded the firearm on that man. From behind his back, and you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon? You disgust me. Present now. No. What is it, Ryunosuke? I'm not quite sure. Something that the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of evidence you've gathered in the court record. And if you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it. Prime presser awarded. We gotta go back. Also, it depends on what we present to. We could present the photo, which shows it on the front. But maybe the postmortem report, depending on where it says it passed through. the chest, but not pass the body. I'm gonna present this first.
Yes!
It literally says the chest. He holds up his hand. What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Isn't it insubordination? Thrusting this water paper on my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. Went for a pre-break. We were talking about Among Us. Did I miss? Among Us on Saturday. I got a couple friends that are probably going to play with us. If not, just anyone I can grab from Twitch. Trying to make a private server or private room, whatever it's called. And also going to be on Discord. I mean, yes, there's a clear inconsistency here. This. What nonsense. What can this document possibly tell us that we don't already know? Discord Among Us. Well, obviously, that, what I want to say, the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in the Grand Courtroom. So frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. Oh, he's got the same Edgeworth thing. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Has he what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the post-mortem report presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Is Edgeworth the funny guy? Maybe? Edgeworth has the silver hair. What? Sergeant, you say no, sir. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement that you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
You love him. He's awesome. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because... As it is clearly stated in the post-mortem report, fatal hemorrhage from the pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. The photographic print of the victim clearly shows the same thing. Heisenberg's an idiot. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to a witness's statement, the culprit shot the victim from the behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh, what is going on his shoulder? Well, what? What was that? Popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? What the fuck is happening? I knew. Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. It's a baby. Seems like it. He does have a little harness on, so maybe he has a baby on his back. What you do? How you doing, Gallic? Just playing some Phoenix Wright. That's the baby again. Until the moment I heard the fireman discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious like carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard was proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. The witness, Sergeant Yosanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. And how are you doing, Gallic? That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. Even the baby whiplash? I hope not. There is no place for amateur prosecutors here in this grand courtroom. Oh, he just laid it on him. Dick. Inconsistency seer. Ward. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. This is what being an ace attorney is all about? But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. This is gonna be rough. Unless someone took a uniform, it possibly could be my friend.
Yes!
Did the thing, ace attorney. But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either? Myself, I've already been quite clear. The gunshot He's pushing the baby down. The gunshot interested me not. Far too busy on the floor. Busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Treasure? He was too busy looking at his stupid glass. Ryunosuke carrying the sword legally? I think he is, because this is an older time. I think where swords were still allowed. Hunting for treasure, yep. I mean, what if that treasure was the model gun that the main character picked up? Possibly. Indeed, the Hoera Koban. My prized coin. Oh, it's a coin he was looking for. Each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute. In the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoenn treasure. I believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished. I want to have a sword. I mean, you can have a sword. You just can't carry it publicly. But you can get swords. I have Cloud's Buster Sword and Squall's Lionheart. I mean, they're model swords, but they're still made out of metal, which makes them awesome. You want the Rathalos sword? That'd be pretty cool. The Koban vanished? Hunting around under the table I was. Haste mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened. Big sword? Yep, I have a big sword. It's super heavy too. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but it heeded not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoenn treasure. Nothing distracted me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. Let me hold it, please. I love Cloud. Alright, I could probably show you a picture of it on Discord. Maybe. It's not at my current house, it's at my old house. Huh. I see. And it's not his Buster Sword, it's the fusion sword that he has from Advent Children. That lamentable day, the precious Hoenn was lost to me. Give me Sephiroth's sword that I can't remember the name of. The Masamune? The Masamune sword? It's so long. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for me. Oh man, give him his coin back. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness's testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. Point has become more important. What is your position, Prosecutor Achi? Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but we will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make. I I want the touchdown sword and shield. I'd have to look that up. I don't remember what it looks like. Explain. This stuff is OP. I probably want the ice blades. Or the wolf dual swords from Rise. Upon hearing the next statements, it become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhito. What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well, the court invites the witness to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency. I'm about his glass again. Is the murderer? Yes, sir, at once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up to the ranks, sir. Name, Ido. Have you got to part with the British person? Not yet. I can't wait. It's not Sherlock Holmes, it's like, they like reverse the name. Holmes, Homelock Sholmes. Homelock Sholmes, I think. You love children? It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ido. Shit. Your father's about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Hey, got a runny nose. Keep that nose clean. True culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that young lad in the back. That much I myself did see. I love that kid. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, Loney was the Englishman, dining all by himself. Homelock Sholmes sounds like a Dark Souls boss. I could see that. I want to play Dark Souls again. Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. Now they're saying there's no one else. Why is he speaking like Yoda? He's been doing it a little bit. Wait, that's nonsense. Victim, Dr. Wilson wasn't alone at all. How can I prove it? Please, enough of these outbursts. But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasy. I probably gotta press him for more information. Alone the English gentleman was, the kid in the back, it was. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Is this a photograph print of the scene of the crime, counsel? Oh. There's already a contradiction here. These are two different times. The first picture has a full steak uneaten. This picture has the steak already eaten. Homelock Sholmes, the detective. I like that one. I like that one. It's like kind of like detective. Indeed. Of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one plate. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in company of anyone else. Doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. Ruby is already acting like Block-Sholm Holmes. A bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch can be seen in the victim's table. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's like the woman disappeared. She must be an important person. Which is why they don't want to cause suspicion on her, I'd imagine. It's not possible that nobody else saw that woman. The waiter before said the same thing. The lady is my mother. Bro, the almost whole steak was with the British woman. Was it? I mean, there's his back to it. As you can see, the steak is whole. This one's eaten. You can also tell by the fork and the knife, I believe. Yeah, the fork is clean. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I'd rather I saw a woman with him. Making me want steak. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to the Great Britain on time after all. Witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt. These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Akatsuchi Achi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor. Not over yet. What's happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. Why didn't you join the most critical Smash Bros. Arena? Moist Criticals? I don't know. I've never tried to join one of his arenas. I always could. What? What you say is true. Then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now's a chance to expose it. Draw out the truth. Your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuya. I do like Moist Critical. I've watched him when he was just kind of a small-time YouTuber. Back when he was just... He didn't even have like a webcam of himself up yet when I was watching him. Glad to see he did so well, though. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. Understood? Roast can be so unbending at times. When it's 10 o'clock on a school night, I'm going to magically fall asleep at any moment. Sleep now? I kind of want to go too, but I do want to see this case all the way through. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes! Press what I can, I'll hypnotize you. No, it's not the same thing at all. For a start, I didn't fire that gun. We have a difference of opinion on that. Opinion of a uniformed officer versus that of a fledgling cadet. Case can go on much longer. It can. Look at this coin. 1, 2, 3. I'll wait till the next one. The next setup. I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? Did you see it? You see me blink? How could I? And yet, it is an undeniable fact that I did blink. Oh no. So there you have it. You got me. Have what? Attention! The sound of the firearm rang in my ears in the very next moment. I saw you waving the gun at the English. I think that says it all. Don't you? What is this guy going on about? He's just trying to prove that because I didn't actually see something happen doesn't mean it didn't happen. But let us not forget that the antiques dealer witnessed the accused in the most incriminating position as well. Isn't that so, Karakuta-san? Didn't say anything. I think Achi is delusional. What's the German guy doing? Chilling, I guess? Yes. Pointing his gun at the foreman, he was. Young lad in black. How much I myself did see. Did you see that? Can't deny that he saw it. Once again, he says the back. Here's the gun at foreman. Oh, young man in black, not back.
Yes!
Yes, it may be true that I was holding the gun at that point in time. But I've told you already, that's only because I picked it up off the floor. Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away. I just finished drinking my coffee and I was about to leave the restaurant when... Wait, the old guy said he was looking for his treasure earlier and didn't care. I don't think he has eyes. That's true. You're right, he did say he was looking for that, but we don't, I think, have evidence on it. I wish we knew where they were sitting. Oh, they actually say it in his description now. The owner of the restaurant was hunting for the... Yeah, okay, so that's it. It says it in his description that he was looking for the coin at the time of the incident, so he couldn't have seen. Probably used that. I noticed a gun on the floor on Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And exactly at that moment... Bang. Blind old Hermit. Is he blind old Hermit? It'd be funny if it did say he was blind. Gunshot rang in my ears. Full of events beyond control, I think. Right? What do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated testing predicament. I just keep pulling out a shank. Rather, it's a actual kind of dagger, but I call it a shank. Hermit card from the Binding of Isaac. I'm going insane. Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the coin from the floor and found myself in equally testing predicament as a result. His eyes, yep, they pop open. Anyway, fact remains, myself, I didn't see you. Pistol in hand, over the foreigner. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Can't prove that the lady was there. Oh, it won't let me look at the, It won't let me actually look at the people now. Weird. Here's the Hermit Assassin of the Abyss. Let me just press everything and see what information we can get. You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection!
As we had been at pains to point out time and time again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this. Only there had been more people dining there at the time. Someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. No, of course the place was almost empty. What you'd expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. This Isaac related, I know it's a devil deal. I'm going insane. You wanna play? I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at the time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is that, Counsel? It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. At a clinic. Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon. Past 1 p.m. Very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder. What do you think, Rinosuke? Well, let's go over the evidence real quick. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. Caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. Is it Thanksgiving? The 27th, I do believe. I wish I could turn this card around. Take. do you think, Ryunosuke? Well, it's hard to say how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. I mean, we might as well.
Yes!
Might not be useful now, but it might be useful down the line. If I may, I'd like to ask for the medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be strenuous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern. That Ryunosuke was the guy with the sword. He is the guy. Oh no. The guy. I'm Ryunosuke. Kazuya or Kazuma is the guy with the sword.
Objection!
Whether or not their concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Ryunosuke? Wait. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request. The youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. The most disturbing trend. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. Alright, so we get more information. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. Ryunosuke is a Persona character, right? Ryunosuke? I don't think so. I know that's another popular name. Oh, bad guy. You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Kurakuda-san. Indeed, alone it was, the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Yes!
When I'm gonna play Breath of the Wild again? I don't know quite yet. I got so many games I gotta play. I still got Yakuza, Persona 5, and right now I'm doing Final Fantasy 15. So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone? Oh, he just went quiet. That I did. For the position I placed you in. So the testimony of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? Can't forget the voice I had. And let us not forget, oh there we go. Incontestable evidence we have support their statements as well. Wilson wasn't dining alone. I don't think he was. As can clearly be seen, there's only a single beefsteak on the victim's table. Meal for one. Okay, now we're getting to it. Wilson, he's dead? Wilson's gone. No. The antiques dealer, the sergeant and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest... oh wait, it's me talking. If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Therefore, no one other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched the English gentleman. Over and out. And we'll go ahead and bring in the British woman. We don't even know if she exists right now. Why aren't you telling the truth? What? What did you say, cadet? Clearly remember. There's a woman sitting across the table from the professor. No, she exists. She does. Gotta find a way to make her exist. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you that failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. She must be an important person, so they're probably being told to keep hushed. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhito, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly said the same thing. He also said the victim was alone. That's right. Precisely. In other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. Mrs. Achu will be sent. But such a woman were indeed present at the scene. The prosecution demands to see proof. Any proof yet? And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time. There's nothing I can say to that. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yeah, but I don't feel like it changes much. Can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? We didn't really read it through. I want to see if I can find what he does. Medical report card from the Hodo clinic that was found in the victim's pocket. Pocket. I want you to know about rolling in the tape. Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little bit more detail. How exactly? You'll notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press A and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. We're getting used to it. Use R. Ah, so we can turn them around, okay. Rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using L. Like when playing chess. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press A to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Expect any areas of evidence that look suspicious. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. And there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extrication of molar with topical anesthesia. Extrication of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? So you can play a boring game and get almost 16k viewers. Is that what Moist is playing, is chess? Depends on your popularity. And how long you've been around. It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they use laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yeah, heard of this anesthesia. Oh, that's what Ludwig's doing? I don't know who Ludwig is. I don't know Ludwig. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Ah, so the one meal at the table wasn't his, it was the lady's. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. But I mean... 15th century music. I don't know. Oh, I know Ludwig. But I mean... he's not alive now. Record of dental work on the day of the murder. The victim had undergone dental treatment. Been prohibited from eating or drinking anything but water. But who's to say he actually followed that? The Twitch streamer? I figured. This new information, meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. What's the same thing? I'm gonna get it for me anyway. Let's try doing this again.
Yes.
I noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection.
As you've been at pains to point out again, I'm going to close my ears. Yet no one else appears to have caught a glimpse of the woman. Which is already past 2 p.m. Happened? Okay. We already went through this. They probably just got to present. Also, Ludwig's a Bloodborne boss with the OP weapon. Yeah, he is. He's good. He makes my ears bleed. I think the victim had an appointment. Okay. But is that the right place to present the evidence? I'm gonna try it.
Yes.
Well, I think, what are you whittling, lad? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuya. I can see it quite clearly in the cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, is a mental breakdown. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Geometry dash reel? What? Alright, and thanks for the advice. Furukuda-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see, and I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on the report card with your witness's statement. Something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection.
Tapes really run. Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt the court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain it in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. This is how the game goes. Yeah, but that's, Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's surely no need to prolong this trial further. But we got them now, he just gets to say it. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. The medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for a simple reason that there is no one else beside the pale-faced people who could possibly have perpetrated. We play games like this and say, brand new Lamborghini? This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? You really believe that? What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hata Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps I told you the victim had just had a tooth extracted. Watch this now. And furthermore, I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say? That he had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? No, that can't.
Barracuda-san. What, boy, what? As you just heard, Jake, when he was killed, sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all.
No.
Additionally, there's more. You have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. We win. But that cannot possibly be the case. Oh, they're gonna say something. Case is that's a one-piece filler arc. Yeah. This is just the first case. The other case is gonna be a lot longer. Grr. Because the victim, as we know, had just one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic. Yar! Expertly done, partner. Of the one-piece filler.
Objection!
What is this nonsense? You little upstart. These are baseless accusations. Just look at the photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic?
How dare you?
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Yunosuke? Yeah. Something is different. It shows the table from here, but maybe it's showing it from here? I don't see the other two. It only shows 2 chairs here. But yeah, all tables have 4 chairs. Interesting. Huh? Yes, most definitely. The accusations were baseless. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. We don't know if he was exactly unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beef steak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of your turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, these people look like JoJo characters because they're all awesome. Person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... yeah, no, third party. It has to be. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person.
Yes!
There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Look like a thus spoke Rohan side character. What? Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witnesses' testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly.
Kazuya, are you insane? You would take on the government?
Been roasted, undoubtedly destroyed. Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them. Those 2 witnesses in the stand.
What? What are you talking about?
We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it is not now turns out that those 2 of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you'll be charged with perjury.
Perjury?
And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Complicit?
In murder? No! What else reminds me of that? My mom. Negative. There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. I knew they were told to hush up.
That's right, as the old man says. They never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us.
They were told to be quiet. Oh. What? What did you just say? Rakuta-san.
Oh, no.
You were just following orders?
Now hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What? This old man's about to have a heart attack.
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements, but who told them to lie?
I bet it's the actual prosecutor that we're going to be facing later on.
Is this true, you pair?
Just one. One simple flip of the tongue. Order. Counsel, explain what's going on here. You know who else lied during this trial? Praise from about to appear. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely none. The prosecution knows nothing of this.
I like how he has the dainty little slaps. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? And who else is about to appear? My mom.
Well,
that's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you? Like a kid is yanking his mustache. You wouldn't... This can't be happening. Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, he's not really having much of a reaction to the baby pulling his mustache. I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Achi had any idea about it. They're two brain seas? What are you saying? I mean, with that kind of influence, there's only a handful of possibilities. It only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, we can continue our pursuit. We need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. It kind of reminds me of Sidon from Breath of the Wild. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalties will be severe.
Please, wait, Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing.
What does the defense have to say about all this? Well, Your Excellency, time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout the first name that comes into my head. I bet it was the butler. I want Sidon to... He doesn't have to... what? Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses... Ooh, can I not look at this? What do you mean? 30 in forensic medicine. I wish I could have looked over my worth it. Can you say what defense? The only person I can really think of is head waiter, possibly. How come I can't look at my evidence? Alright, so I'm gonna have to make a guess. Wait a view for serving there on the day. Medical school professor at the Imperial Yujin Authority in Forensic Medicine. Satoru. I'd imagine it is Satoru. I wanted to look at his business card.
Yes!
Well, surely that would be Satoru Hasanaga-san. Hasanaga-san. And now we can look at the court record. Okay. This is when a restaurant raises a number of questions, I think. Definitely. Just to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. There's nothing to show the woman you say saw there. Exactly. That's not all. Look here in the upper left, where it says kitchen. Oh yes, what of it? No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen, especially not if they were in a hurry. You mean you don't remember those characters yourself, don't you? Study harder, Ryunosuke. Sorry, Iwata. Damn, now I'm sad. He's the butler that they showed earlier. Or the waiter. And this is what I wanted to look at. Chief Inspector Satoru Hasayama, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Alright, so I kind of had the right hint there, but you definitely helped me choose Satoru. He was so cool. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hasanaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. He's a police officer, I believe. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hasanaga, Primary Criminal Investigations Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. Do the magic and bring him back to life? If we could, we would. Building it somehow here. Alright, the information has been updated. Now we can prove it. This trial should be close to being over. The waiter who took the stand earlier.
Objection!
Poppycock! What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have the level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. I wonder if my friend is the ancestor of Edgeworth. I bet that is. He's Edgeworth's ancestor, and I'm Phoenix's ancestor. Not safe for work. What? He truly were.
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hasanaga-san's real identity is proven by this evidence, which we already updated. But
Yes!
plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure what we can conclude to anything. Sorry, Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. He's so confused. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hasanaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of the business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession. Waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before.
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand? Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen the foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Oh, it's the waiter. He said hold it. Inspector Hasunaga. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. Court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He acted strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
Oh, you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Of course! Your salary... I was working undercover. I was going to say he wasn't getting paid enough or something? Undercover? Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. You have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim. If that is indeed true, clearly you would have also been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner, therefore I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. That be correct. To his own cough. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected. The ultimate kids show, Dragon Ball Digital Pocket Duel Monsters. Oh jeez. That's exactly what would happen. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? As the waiter bleeding. Guess he's got some type of illness. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything else at the moment. The cancer or something? Maybe. Maybe tuberculosis. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil, and name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect? Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the phantom woman in this case. But it's not right. I don't care what's right. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazi? Huh? Yuma University is correctly hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them is studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory. Is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. I see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, that it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman is sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Desailles Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory at Yuma University Medical Faculty. Will there be a Florida man case? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence in this lady's presence. Ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. There's lots of Florida man cases. It must now be up to you Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a discretion of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Count. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Please, a good judge. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Jaziel Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? Oh, he dies on the way. Nothing will get in my way. Court will adjourn briefly. Prosecution must call the English student Jaziel Brett to the witness stand. We'll stop here after this. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency.
Good. Then we'll have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Alright. Not even over yet. Nope, to be continued. It should allow us to save here, and then that'll be it. Yep, there we go. Yeah, it's a long one, but alright. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. We went on quite longer than I thought I was going to. It's over when Killer Queen bites the dust. I do wonder if ooh, that'd be interesting if it's a full-length case all the way through. Never had that before. But alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. Y'all take care. Thank you guys for watching.